Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds in the studio. Back to work on a Monday. Man, what an incredibly competitive Masters. A lot of really cool things happening, but in the end, Rory got the jacket.
He did, because he kept his cool, and that is really very interesting about McIlroy, because that's the kind of golfer he is. And you knew at the Masters you were going to have an up and down. At the end of Friday, there was no catching him. He was 12 under par, had a 6-stroke lead, and really, if he continued playing just that way, he's going to run away from the field. But you knew at the Masters, because of the way the course is designed and with the numbers of players behind him, the Cam Youngs, the Justin Roses, the Scotty Schefflers, and people of that nature, that it was going to come back to him. And sure enough, McIlroy got back into the field on Saturday. He didn't have a really good round. And then Sunday, here he is, McIlroy, in a heck of a battle. And he had, in all reality, Mike, any one of 9 golfers could have won the thing. And gradually the field kind of faded. There were mistakes made. You can't make a mistake at the Masters. You can't make any of them. And yet Rory did. So they get to the 72nd hole, the 18th hole, 72nd level of competition. And here he has a 2-stroke lead. And what's he do? He drives it into the pine trees. And it's really almost an unplayable lie. He got out of it. He had 2 strokes with which to work. Here is Scheffler breathing down his neck. And Scheffler gets a par. McIlroy could afford a bogey. That's what he got, a bogey, and he wins the thing. That's his second straight Masters championship. That puts him in a very elite field with the likes of Tiger Woods and Jack Nicklaus and people of this caliber. He's just a really solid golfer and playing at the peak. Now, he's not going to win every time out, but the fact is that he is good. He's not the number one in the world. That's Scotty Scheffler, who shows time and again how really good he is. But for McIlroy, another green jacket. Maybe, who knows? Who knows what will happen down the stretch? Maybe he wins some more. Maybe he doesn't. Remains to be seen.
Yeah, well, at the very least, there was some, like I said, great competition on that course this weekend. We had pro basketball and pro hockey playoffs right there on the edge of we got a couple that are starting here in about a week or two.
Well, the pro basketball begins tomorrow night. Yeah. They have this new, and it's not new. This is year number 6, I think, for it. The play-in round, in which you have the bottom 2 seeded teams in each conference going at each other in really what's essentially a best of 3. And those 2 are the winners of that are the ones who qualify for the main field of 20. Main field of 20 begins on Saturday. Now, as far as the NHL is concerned, they don't have that kind of a play-in round. They keep their points, and this is the final week of competition. I think the St. Louis Blues have 2 more games remaining, but they're out of it. They're not going to be in the thing at all. So the main playoffs, the Stanley Cup, will start next weekend as well, along with the NBA. The Stanley Cup will continue through June, and probably that'll be it for the NBA, too, right through early June.
We've got NASCAR in Tennessee yesterday. Who got the checkered flag?
A young guy by the name of Ty Gibbs. He's the 23-year-old grandson of the race team owner Joe Gibbs, the old Washington, and this is correct, the Washington Redskins coach. He were the Redskins when he coached them. But now he's into racing and owns that racing team, and his grandson comes up with his first NASCAR victory, racing at Bristol, Tennessee, which could be Bristol, Virginia, if you look at it, because it's right on the border. But regardless of that, that's a short track, and Ty Gibbs gets the win, and that's a big win for him, big win for Gibbs Racing Team, and congratulations to them.
The Royals closed out their series with the White Sox. How'd the Cardinals do?
Cardinals lose 2 out of 3 to the Boston Red Sox, including yesterday's game 9-3. The one on Saturday night, Boston scored 6 runs in the 9th inning and won the game going away. The Cardinals now beginning to perhaps level off a little bit. Who knows? It's such a long way to go in the season. But the fact is that a guy whom a lot of folks gave up on, we said, no, he's only 23 years old. How about this? Jordan Walker leads the National League in home runs. Thank you, sports fans. This guy's coming into his own now. Can the rest of the team follow him? Well, we'll find out. Kansas City had a series with the Chicago White Sox, lost yesterday by a score of, this is interesting, Mike, 6-5 was the final score yesterday, and of the 3 games, and the Royals and White Sox split this series 2 games apiece. The 3 previous games, were all scores of 2-0. Mm-hmm. Now, that doesn't happen very often, folks, in any level of sports. Thursdays was a 2-0 win for the White Sox. Friday, a 2-0 win for the Royals. Saturday, 2-0 win for the White Sox. And yesterday was a 6-5 win. Chicago wins that win. Hey, this is wacko, but that's also the way baseball is played.
Also early in the season, the Royals going to Detroit for a tough matchup against the Tigers or the Cardinals this week.
The Cardinals are home. They're playing the Cleveland Guardians tonight, and then they have them for 2 more games.
Also another tough series for both. I know you had a big weekend with the Springfield Cardinals. Did they continue their winning?
No, they did not, and this is kind of odd. I don't think you see this. Springfield Cardinals won their first 4 games of the season, 3 in Amarillo and 1 here in town last Tuesday, and they've since lost 5 straight. 5 straight. Now, they're playing the Tulsa Drillers, folks, and the Drillers are the AA farm club of the Los Angeles Dodgers. They're pretty good. The team the Cardinals had gotten started with, the Amarillo Sod Poodles, they are not very good. So, indeed, I think probably what's coming out now is how these teams balance out. Anyway, the Springbirds go on the road to Wichita for a series with the Wichita Wind Surge, and that begins tomorrow night, but got to snap that 5-game losing streak. That's not very encouraging.
Just the opposite for the Missouri State Bears. They won 3 in a row.
They went to Delaware. Delaware's the worst team in Conference USA. They're just really, really weak. They can hit. They gave the Bears fits yesterday, but by the same token, the Bears won all 3 games, hitting the long ball. Did it yesterday 9-6. And Drury splits 4 games with Truman State. Had to play a doubleheader on Sunday instead of Saturday, and they split that doubleheader yesterday. So both teams gearing up now for the stretch run in their conference seasons and then getting ready for their conference tournaments, which will be coming up later on in May.
God, went by real fast, Ned. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.